Hey guys, how are you? Give me some likes and hearts and everything. Let me know that you're there. We're gonna wait a couple minutes till just a couple people jump on here. I know some people were really excited about this tonight, and so am I. Tonight we are going to be talking about spraying cabinet doors. So if you can take a look at this, it just gives a beautiful, beautiful, nice satin finish to some doors. Anybody on there yet? Where are you all from? I am from rainy Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. What's it doing in your neck of the woods? Is it raining? I know some people had hail the other day. I saw Leah, she had hail up in Canada and just all kinds of crazy weather around here. But today we've had a lot of rain here in Pennsylvania. I'm ready for some sunshine. How about you guys? Well, it is 7 o'clock, so we are going to go ahead and get rolling with this live. My name is Corrie with Inspired by You, and I'm a brand ambassador for Country Chic Paint, and I am so excited to be a brand ambassador for this brand. I mean, you guys know the customer service is top notch. I've worked with a lot of people over the years, and Roseanne and Sarah and their entire staff have just been phenomenal. So I could not be more thrilled to represent this brand of paint. Not only is the customer service and the personnel amazing, but the paint is fabulous. So today we're going to talk about spraying kitchen cabinets. Is anybody on there yet, Chad? Awesome. Hi guys. Hi everybody. I've got my awesome cameraman Chad behind the scenes tonight. He's helping me out. I'm usually doing all this by myself, so it's awesome to have a cameraman who's helping me. We're just going to go through start to finish what I do with kitchen cabinets, because I've been painting kitchen cabinets for years, and I've got some of my stuff here. I'll show you around a little bit as we go, but we're going to start with the prep, and then we're going to go into the priming, the painting, and the clear coat. So we're going to go through all of that stuff tonight. It's going to be great. If you are looking to purchase Country Chic Paint, you could just go to www.countrychicpaint.com, and tonight I'm going to be offering you a 10% off your first purchase with me if you use the coupon code Inspired by You, the letter U, 10. So if you just use the coupon code Inspired by You 10, you'll get 10% off your first purchase. In addition, at the end we are going to announce a winner. So if you hang with us, we are going to have a $150 giveaway of a pint of paint, a clear coat or a tough coat, sponge, which are awesome, and we're going to be using this for our primer tonight, and an oval paintbrush. So you get the tough coat, you get a pint of paint, an oval paintbrush, and a sponge, all for this giveaway. So we are so excited. Yay, we're going to have one lucky winner here tonight. But we're going to go ahead and start rocking this out. So let me just put my stuff away. I've got everything that we're going to be using tonight over here, and this is my handy dandy tool for spraying kitchen cabinets. I just put a piece of wood on top so that I could use it to prime and show you guys what we're doing. But this is actually from, it's called the Door Rack Painter, and they're fabulous. They're fabulous. He was actually a kitchen cabinet painter for years and years, and he developed this system to help people paint. So we'll talk about my racks and everything later, but we're going to start off with prep. How to prep kitchen cabinets, because it's a little bit different than furniture. I feel kind of naked tonight without my partner in crime. I have a partner, Melissa Lorello from Generation Studio and Shop, and together we created, it's called Kitchen Cabinet Painting Experts. So we usually do lives together, so I'm feeling a little bare without her tonight, but we're going to rock this out on my own. And I've got, I did have another cleaner out here. I think my husband used to clean our kitchen table. But I have two favorite cleaners. This is one of them for kitchen cabinets, because kitchen cabinets tend to be a little bit more greasy, a little bit more grimy than just a regular piece of furniture. This is Crud Cutter. This is a no rinse pre-paint cleaner. It's a TSP substitute. I love this. It works really well to just get all of that grease and grime off of your kitchen cabinet. So this is one of my favorites. Oh, Chad to the rescue. He brought my other. This is my other favorite. This is a Planet Positive. I know Country Chic is really big on eco-friendly products. This is a Planet Positive cleaner. It is a Legacy of Clean. It says glass cleaner on here, but this is actually a kitchen cleaner. The green one's the kitchen cleaner, and this cuts grease and grime, and it smells amazing. I love using this on site at my customer's home because it always leaves our kitchen smelling amazing, and it does a really great job of just cutting all of the grease and grime. Then I always keep my handy dandy toothbrush because you've got lots of cracks and crevices on these cabinet doors that you want to make sure you're getting in all of those cracks and crevices. And then this is another favorite product of mine. This is called a Scrub Bud. This is another Legacy of Clean product. I can put the link in the comments after we're done here to where you can get this stuff, but it's awesome. It's actually old Amway products. If you've ever heard of Amway, they're phenomenal because they work really well and they're great for the environment. But anyway, it's safe and gentle, but it gets really good into all of those cracks and crevices. So what we're gonna do is prep this board. All you have to do is take your spray cleaner, spray it on there, and then I'm just gonna use my Scrub Bud, and I am gonna scrub this bad boy down. You wanna try and get some of that gloss off. These are actually laminate cabinets, so I'm going to scrub these really well. Oh, I'm gonna scrub them so hard that I'm knocking my cleaners off there. While I'm scrubbing, tell me about yourselves, guys. What are you up to tonight? Anything fun outside of watching me clean some cabinet doors? Oh my goodness. Where are y'all from? Where are y'all from?
You have somebody from Canada?
From Canada, awesome. Awesome, I said earlier I'm from central Pennsylvania. So you want to get all of this surface nice and scoured here. And then, even if I'm using my pre-paint cleaner that says no rinse, I always rinse. It's just, you just want to be sure. And then you can take your toothbrush in around all of those cracks and crevices too, just to make sure. It's better to, your finish is only as good as your prep. So you want to take time and you want to get the prep down right. Melissa and we actually created an ebook on prep. It's a free ebook that I'll post in the comments too after we're done here. Then I just have a bucket of just plain water and a microfiber cloth. So like I said, no matter what type of cleaner you're using, always rinse it well so that it's ready. And you never want to sand before you clean. You always want to clean first before sanding, because if you sand before you clean, it's gonna just grind some of that dirt down into the wood, and you don't want that. You want your surface to be super smooth, super clean. I'm ready to take paint, so I'm gonna bring this up here. You can see it's just super clean and ready to go. I'm gonna put this on my drying rack over here. Okay. And then I'm gonna pull out another. This one was already prepped, so it's ready to go. Because after you prep it and after your wood is wet, you wanna make sure that you let it dry. If it is a solid wood substrate, like an oak or just a solid wood, you want to make sure that you let that set probably a good 24 hours before you start putting any kind of paint or primer onto your surface. Generally, when I'm sanding, before I apply any primer or anything, I'm going to use a 220 grit sandpaper because it just gives me a little bit more grip. And anytime that you can get grip in between your coats of paint, it's better and it's going to be more durable for you. So I like a sanding, this is actually a sanding sponge. It's just really flexible and easy to use, and I always wrap my sandpaper around it just because I can get in all of these cracks and crevices. You don't have to go real hard, you just want to go real light, because when you're doing like 50 some doors in a kitchen cabinet, You don't have time to sit there and scrub them down to the bare bone. And you don't want to do that anyway, because if you are scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing on a solid wood substrate, then it is going to actually release more tannins, and you don't want that. So you just want to give it enough that it's going to grip to your primer. If you guys have questions as you go ahead and ask. Chad's behind the camera, he's going to ask me, I'm going to throw that down. Anytime, I just like to use an old brush and wipe off all of that dust so that I'm ready to prime. Okay, this is a cabinet door that is ready to prime. You can see it's not glossy at all. If you have a glossy surface, the paint just won't bind to it, and you want to make sure that the paint adheres well. So you want it to not be glossy at all, and it's nice and smooth and ready to take on the primer. So, on a laminate primer, like I said, this is a laminate primer. I'm going to use the Country Chic primer here. This is a great primer that adheres really well, and it's just a really good prime coat. If you are doing a solid wood substrate, like I said, solid oak. I just did a kitchen that was all just solid oak. You want to use something that has some VOCs in it so that it can block the tannins. Because all of their products are eco-friendly, they don't have anything that's going to really block those tannins. So I recommend a Zinsser bin shellac. What that's going to do, this last kitchen I had to put on 3 coats of the shellac to block all of the tannins that were coming through. So I use the Zinsser bin shellac on solid wood substrates. On laminate surfaces, I'm going to go with the Country Chic primer, because you want to make sure that it's adhering well. So what I'm going to do, I've got all my stuff here, I promise. With my primer, you just want to make sure that you stir it well. Make sure that all the sediment on the bottom is stirred in. And then I'm just gonna, I go through paper plates like crazy. I'm just gonna put it on a paper plate here. And then I'm gonna use the sponge. So with this sponge, I'm just gonna get it saturated in the primer. I'm going to go around the cracks and crevices first here. And you want to make sure that you are going away from the corners, because if you go into the corners, it's going to build up, and you don't want any buildup. You want just a nice light layer. So you've got to pull away from the corners. And you don't want to go over it too much. You don't want it to pool at all. Just give it a nice coat of the primer so that it's ready to take the paint. If you have any runs or anything, make sure that you get it off before it dries. Like I said, your finish is only as good as your prep. So this is part of the prep before you paint. Okay. Just gonna throw this over here. Okay, so you can see I've got just a nice thin coat over all of the surface of the door, and this is ready to let sit. I'm gonna let that sit for about 24 hours. I'm putting it on my drying rack here. Speaking of drying racks, Chad, can you show them these drying racks here? Okay, I've got 2 different drying racks here. This one here, this is from the Door Rack Painter, and I love this one because you can kind of adjust it. I can stick 18 doors over top of this onto this rack, or I can stagger it like I have here. I'm doing a vanity. So I have all of my drawers here. This one over here, this is a Pro Drying Rack from Paint Line. And I have 2 of these. This can hold 20 doors on one rack. And anytime you're buying a rack, you want to make sure that you buy a rack that is level. The Paint Line has racks that go up on the side. You don't want those with Country Chic paint. You want something that's going to sit flat, because as the paint dries, it levels. And if you have racks that are on an angle, then it is going to slide down and your paint's going to be a mess. So you want to make sure that you get level drying racks. So this is the Pro Drying Rack, the TT series from Paint Line. So those are just some rack options for you as you go.
Oh, hold on a second.
Okay.
This happened. I had a question, but it was gone now.
Okay. We'll just keep on going.
Yeah, but I think I hit something that's quiet. Sorry.
Let me see. Oh. No, I don't know. I think we're good. I think we're good to go.
It says quiet mode turned on, swipe left.
Swipe
Okay,
left.
got it.
We
Here
good?
it is. Krista
Okay.
Brown. Krista Brown. When you say solid wood,
Yeah.
is that bare wood, or if you would have oak cabinets with a clear sealer on it, you would want to use VOC primer?
Well, yeah. If it is a solid wood cabinet, even if it's not raw wood, I still like the cabinets that I just did. I ended up using 3 coats of the bin shellac because there was so many tannins that were seeping through even the bin. So those cabinets, they were sealed and they weren't new. They were older cabinets. So yeah, you want to make sure, and you can test it too. Like if you do a little strip of paint and you don't have any tannins, then you'll be good to go. But some tannins, they take a little while to show up, and so you want to make sure that you're blocking all of that bleed through so that you don't end up with yellow cabinets down the road. Next, we're going to get our sprayer ready. So are you guys ready? Does anybody out there own a sprayer? And if you do, what kind of sprayer do you have? I have the Graco Finish Pro 9.5. It's an HVLP, high volume, low pressure. And I'm just going to put my gun together here for the paint. I'm going to use the number 3 needle here. I'm just going to stick that in, make sure that it's good to go. I got my needle in. I use the number 3 because I found that gives me a good fine spray and it works really well with this paint. I do not dilute the paint at all. I use it at full strength, and I had to fool around with it a lot to get it to that, but the reason that I don't want to dilute the paint is because anytime you're adding water to your paint products, you are losing durability. And with kitchen cabinets, you don't want to lose any durability. You want to have it at full strength. So I've got my gun together. This is a pretty sweet gun. I love it, and I'll show you why, okay? So when I have my gun at an angle like this, I love the HVLPs because it's a little bit more controlled and there's not a lot of overspray. So if I have it at an angle like this, and then I turn it down to a fine spray here, I can spray right along the sides of these doors here without really any overspray. It's pretty awesome. So it can give me a really fine spray at an angle like this. When I turn it to the right, like this, I get a spray that's like this. So it will spray this way. And then whenever I turn it to the top, it's gonna spray this way. So usually what I'll do is whenever I'm spraying cabinet doors, I'll turn it this way first so that I get a spray and then let that dry. And then whenever I go to recoat, I'll turn it this way and then go up and down so that I'm sure not to miss anything. So this is a pretty sweet gun, and it can go in any direction. It's a bottom feed. There are gravity feed tops, but this works really well. Whenever I am doing this, I'm going to show you. This does have a little filter underneath the top here. I just put all my stuff in the bowl. Whenever you buy it, there's like a little filter in here. I take the filter off because it allows more paint to go through and I filter it whenever it goes into my cup here. These are disposable cups, which are awesome because you can put your paint in and then pitch it whenever you're done, or you can clean them up and reuse them. For this, I'm going to use crinoline. So I just finished a kitchen in crinoline and it was beautiful. I usually take Vaseline and put them on the top so that it's easier to undo, but I forgot what this one. Yes.
Shirley asks, what's the brand name of the spray gun?
The brand name of this spray gun it's a Graco. It's a Graco Finish Pro. And Chad, if you can bring the camera over here, I'll show it to you. Can you see?
Yep, okay, I can see.
Okay. All right, so this is a Graco Finish Pro. This is a 9.5. This is a Pro Comp series. The Pro Comp series is the highest end that you can get because I do such a high volume of cabinet doors. You can go with a lesser grade if you're doing less volume, or if you're doing lots of furniture. You can see over here I've got all my furniture. These are all custom pieces that I'm working on too. So if you're just doing furniture with it, you could go with a lesser series. This is the highest series that you can get. This is both a compressor and a turbine. I use primarily the turbine. And there's a turbine control here. This is the on and off switch. This one has an automatic shut off. So anytime I sit my sprayer down, it's gonna automatically shut off so that I'm not wasting all of that energy in here, which is pretty sweet. So this is what the sprayer looks like, and it's really easy maintenance, and I cannot say enough about this sprayer. I love it. So that's the Graco Finish Pro. Whenever you're spraying while we're here, you can use one of these spraying outfits. A lot of sprayers do, especially if you're using an airless sprayer, you might want one of these. But I mean, let's face it, if we're a furniture artist, most of our clothes have paint on them anyway. So I can't remember the last time I used that thing, but you definitely do want one of these guys. This is your mask. This is a spray mask, and if you are using any kind of spray gun, you want to make sure that you have the proper protection. Even though this paint has 0 VOCs, there's little particles that go into the air whenever you're spraying, and they can get into your lungs. So you want to make sure that you are always wearing a respirator mask so that you're just protecting your lungs. So I'm going to put that over here, and we'll go back over here. Okay, so I've got my paint, and I'm just going to use a little filter because, like I said, I took the filter off of this, and I filter my paint whenever I put it in here. So I've got my crinoline. I'm just going to filter this into my little spray cup here. Running low on the crinoline here. This kitchen that I just did, it took 2 gallons of crinoline to complete and 3 gallons of the bin. Crazy, huh? It was huge. It was huge. I'll send Sarah a picture so she can put it in the blog. Okay, so we've got this going on. Just gonna throw this in my water here. We'll clean that up later. Okay, so I've got my lid, and then I'm just gonna put the top on here and tighten it up. Just wanna get this super tight. Then I'm gonna put my gun on the top. You just wanna make sure that everything is tight whenever you're spraying so that it works most effectively. I'm gonna connect my air here. Okay, this is good to go. Let me just move my stuff off to the side. Oh, while I'm here too, whenever I am sanding, like initially if I just want a quick job, this is my favorite go-to sander. It's just a little Black & Decker. It's called the Mouse, and you can just put your sandpaper on here and go to work. It's a detail sander, so you can just get into all of the grooves and everything. if I don't feel like doing everything by hand, especially if you have a large volume of kitchens, the Black & Decker mouse is a great sander that you can use. Okay, so we are ready to spread. Let me just move all my stuff here. Okay, like I said, this is my spray rack, and it's from, my spray rack. This is from the Door Rack Painter, so you can adjust these little levers, but I can just put my doors on here and then spray it, or turn it around as I'm spraying, so it works really well. Whenever I'm spraying, I'm gonna do the grooves first. So I do this groove and this side. Turn it, this groove, this side. Turn it, this groove, this side, and then this groove, this side. And then I do the fan, and then I go back and forth. That way it ensures that I'm not missing any spots. If I were to just go back and forth on this door without doing the grooves first, then there's a good chance that there would be spots that I missed as I go, and we don't want that. So I'm just gonna take my gun, I'm gonna plug it in. I've got my little clip here. I'm gonna put on my spray mask, and I'm gonna test it out over here. I've got a little piece of cardboard here, and I always test it to make sure that I get my spray right before I go ahead and go. Whenever I'm spraying, I'll show you my settings just in case you have this gun. I have my, this down here is the flow. So this is the paint. So I can control the volume of paint that goes in. I want it at the lowest setting as possible because I don't want a lot of paint spritzing out. I want it to be really fine, that it goes on and it's super smooth whenever it comes out. And then this is my air. So I can turn my air however I want. I'm gonna keep it right around this. So I have this set at the lowest setting. I've got this set pretty high. And then I'm gonna turn this down as low as I can because I want it to be a fine mist. If I crank it up, it's gonna be really heavy, and we don't want that. So I'm gonna hang this up, get ready to go. On top of my sprayer, I keep baby wipes. Painters always have baby wipes on them. But baby wipes are awesome because what I do is every time I finish a door, I just pull a baby wipe out and then I clean the nozzle up here because that keeps the paint free and it doesn't dry up on the top of my gun. So every time I have like a little doohickey here that I stick my gun up, I wipe it down, and then I throw the baby wipe away. So it just makes it really efficient for me as I'm spraying. So, you ready to spray? Let's do it. Okay. Shouldn't take off my mask that quick, but we're doing a video, so it'll be all right. But you can see, isn't that beautiful? It just gives a really nice, even finish, and it is so gorgeous. Whenever it dries, it's gonna be super soft, really easy to distress if you're distressing kitchen cabinets. I would put 2 coats of this on. 2 coats is sufficient whenever you're spraying. If you're brushing and rolling, it may require more if you're not using a white primer or a tinted primer. So I'm gonna throw this in my drying rack here. Okay, we'll pull this up here. Finally, you've got the top coat. So this is the top coat here, and I've already put the top coat in here. Same method. I have 2 guns, one for my top coat and one for my paint. And fortunately, when I bought this sprayer, it was you get a free gun with the sprayer. So I have 2 guns, which is awesome because I used one for my top coat. So I did the same thing. I filtered the top coat in there. I stirred the top coat really well. You never ever want to shake the top coat, especially when you're doing it for kitchen cabinets, and spraying it. Whenever you spray it, it will have loads of bubbles on it, and it takes a while to get it with the top coat in the sprayer. But once you do, it will make a world of difference. So this one already has a little bit of the top coat on it, so another coat's not going to hurt. But it's the same thing. With this, you really want to make sure that you're getting very minimal feed out, very minimal substance out of your gun. And then your air, you don't want it to be too heavy, again, because it might create bubbles in there. So you want to have low air or medium air and low top coat coming out. So this one's already set up and ready to go. Do the same thing with this guy. Let me just put my mask on again.
Can you say the name of the sprayer again?
Yes, the name of the sprayer is a Graco HVLP 9.5 Finish Pro. This is the Pro Comp series. It is a phenomenal sprayer. It's right over here. You can see it's got a turbine and a compressor. We're using the turbine tonight. Whenever I'm using my turbine, it's about medium. You can increase that too. But medium is good enough to spray this paint without having to dilute it at all. Okay. Got my mask on. Isn't it sexy? Woo. All right, we gotta turn it on here. Awesome, it automatically shuts off. So with the top coat, no bubbles on here, which is awesome. I'll hold it up here. No bubbles. It's sprayed nice and beautifully. If you think that you don't have enough on, don't put more on. Just let it dry, and then you can do another light coat. It's better to do 2 light coats than 1 heavy coat, because if you do a heavy coat of the top coat, it's gonna run and bunch up in those creases and it will get yellow. Even though it's a non-yellowing top coat, if it bunches up, any non-yellowing top coat, if it builds up, it's gonna turn yellow over time. So you wanna make sure, I'm just gonna throw this in my drying rack here. You wanna make sure that you are not overdoing it with the clear coat, or with the top coat. I think I think we hit everything, guys. That was an awesome lot of information there. Again, if you are on here and you've been watching, I need you to comment. Like, if you're commenting, Sarah is going to draw a winner for an oval paintbrush, a pint of the top coat, a pint of a color, and a sponge. You get a sponge with that too. So it's a $150 value. In addition, if you use my coupon code, you get 10% off of your purchases, which is awesome. My coupon code is Inspired by You 10. That's inspired by the letter U, 10. You get 10% off of your purchases. In addition, Melissa and I with Cabinet Painting University, I had mentioned that earlier. If you're interested in starting a kitchen cabinet painting business, Rebecca Groscrews, who is the one who started all of this madness with our Cabinet Painting University, she is offering a discount specifically to Country Chic Paint users. So if you go to that website, I'm going to put it in the comments below as soon as we're done here. It's Cabinet Painting University, but we've got a special backdoor for you Country Chic people. And if you want to purchase the course, it's $249. But the contract alone is well over $250. So if you want to purchase the course, you're going to get $50 off of that purchase tonight. So we're going to give you the coupon code and the link to that. All of that stuff is going to be in the comments below too. So any questions? What do we got, Chad?
First, the winner.
Oh, Sarah's got our winner. Who's our winner? Drum roll.
Marilee Towns.
Marilee Towns, congratulations. Woo woo.
Okay, I got a question for you from Mary Singer.
Okay, hi Mary.
So what, hold on, where did that question go?
I'm used to Mary asking questions. I love listening to her and watching her on her pages.
Oh. So what you sprayed was only one coat of paint, correct?
Yeah, that was only one coat of paint on dark wood. That's a white on dark wood, which, I mean, that's unheard of. That's it. The coverage with Country Chic paint products is phenomenal. I did an entire desk. I think it's over here. Hold on 1 second here. No. I don't have it. Oh, here it is. Guys, check this out. I did an entire desk with pea coat with this, and there's still a third of the sample size left over. So the coverage of this product is phenomenal. I mean, like, that's ridiculous. I still have a third of the sample size left over, and I did an entire desk with that. So, but yes, Mary, that was one coat of white on a dark wood substrate. Any other questions? Okay, guys. Well, go shop countrychicpaint.com. Use my coupon code, get 10% off of your purchases, Inspired by You 10, and we're going to put the link to Cabinet Painting University if you want to start a kitchen cabinet painting business. Guys, really, it is awesome when you are using great products that are durable and you can stand behind knowing that you are giving your clients everything that they need. If you are looking to buy these products, like I said, countrychicpaint.com, but also Country Chic has retailers all over the globe. So just go check out their website and look for a retailer near you too, so you can go and check out the products that they have live and in person as well. I think that's everything. Any other questions? We good to go? All right, you guys. Happy painting. Have a great night, and go get a sprayer. They totally rock. Like, my world has changed drastically since I got a sprayer. It is like going from shoveling snow to getting a snowblower. Like, seriously, you will love it. And if you have any questions, feel free to always reach out and ask. We're always willing to help. Have a great night, guys.